Good morning. I'm going to say something that came to my mind this morning as I connected dots. In Corinthians in the Bible, we are asked to examine thyself, to see that Jesus is in us, to see that faith is in us, to double check, basically, and also to see if we fail. But do know that there's going to be times that we fail, but the reason why we do that is to keep ourselves in check. We fail miserably all the time. And Jesus knew this. So, the words were to examine thyself. People that are recovering alcoholics do this all the time. And through that check, almost a religious constant check, discipline, they are able to keep themselves aware. Okay? Examining yourself. The reason why I say I connected the dots is because this is following an election right now. And it was an election where you had senators and all that, but you did have a couple governors, and whatever. But it was interesting to me yesterday that we had we had a president turn around and say, you have to vote this way. Or he also said if one of the states swung a different way, he was going to start withholding money and he was going to do this and do that. And, examining thyself. Nothing about him right now. It's about you. Examining yourself. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with that statement that he said, you need to examine yourself. Plain and simple. If you call yourself an American and you're okay with that, you need to examine yourself. If you want to live in the United States of America and in a democracy, to which we've kind of lost the appreciation factor, we've taken it for granted. But if you think that you want to live in a democracy and you're okay with those statements that he said, you need to examine yourself. Plain and simple. Because those very words that he says, amongst hundreds of other ones, but that one alone hit me to the core. In the United States of America, we do not talk that way. In the United States of America, if you are a leader, if you are a president, if you are a elected official of any sort, you do not talk that way. And I guarantee you that rhetoric stays the same today. It didn't change overnight. In fact, if anything, it may have amped up even more. Examine yourself to see if you're still in the faith. And if you find yourself through that process lacking Christ in your life, then you need to do something about it and fix the problem. We do this all the time. That's the reason why Jesus died on the cross. We do this all the time. Okay? We fail all the time. It's in our nature of sin too. But if you're an American and you are okay with the fact of retaliation coming from the head offices for decisions being made, for just changing a governor, for crying out loud, okay, for electing somebody else other than what the top tier wants you to elect. If you are okay with that kind of rhetoric, that those that vote a different way should be punished, you need to examine yourself. Examine yourself. To see that you actually are American, to see that you actually have the faith within you, to see all men are created equal, to see that every person's vote has their right behind it to vote who they want to vote for. If you are an American, the ideology that a president turns around and can tell you you have to vote this way is is anti-American in 4 words as it can be. That is something that that is being said out of lust, out of power, greed. I don't need to even say it. That's part of the examining process too, to be able to discern. And you need to be able to discern a person when they say something like that. Especially one that you call yourself, or that you've called a leader, or that is an elected official. I'll give the guy all the credit he can have when he does the right thing. But when he does the wrong thing, yeah, I can give criticism too. We all can. Welcome to a democracy. Welcome to the United States of America. Examine yourself to see that you are in the faith, that Christ lives within you. And if you find little areas, then work on them. If you find big areas, then work on them to correct it, to make yourself a better person. In the same token, examine yourself to see that you are an American. If you were born and raised here and you believe in the Constitution and everything that the forefathers wrote down, but you still find some little areas that go against that, you need to be honest with yourself and speak out against it. You need to be honest with yourself and correct it, to see that you are abiding as an American in the United States of America. That's all I got to say. I got nothing but love for you. Have a good day.